Hello, my friends. Dorothy here. We're going to talk about the weekly astrology forecast for November. No, not November. For December 30th. Oh my gosh, through January 5th. We're going to talk about all the major aspects that are going on in this week. And it starts with the new moon. Now, that new moon forecast is already posted all over the place. So, for an in-depth video forecast, check that out. I'll link it best I can wherever this is being posted all over the place. And then the written forecast is on my website, DorothyMorganAstrologer.com. Get on my newsletter. I will send it to your inbox every time it shows up. I only do it twice a month. The end of this year, I actually emailed you guys every week because I just had so much to talk about and so many things I wanted to share. So today's forecast starts with the new moon in Capricorn, and I have additional information that I didn't put in the monthly forecast for that new moon. I've just realized something I forget to talk about. I'm going to talk about it today. And this is the last free week that I am posting for now. And if you have enjoyed what you have been able to watch, come and join us over in Patreon. If you're seeing this on Patreon, thank you, everybody. Consider joining Tier 3 or Tier 4. I would love to have you there. And there's a lot of interaction and a lot of in-depth astrology that you can use every week. Okay, advertisement aside, this is my marketing, so this is what I need to do. I know, I hope you guys don't mind. Let's see what do I have up here? All right. We're going to start right off. It'll share in just one moment. There it is. Let's just start right off with what was the last image I looked at? Oh, I'm going to show you that in a minute. This is where I want to start. This is that new moon forecast. All right. Let's get this silly Zoom software to do what I wanted to do. There we go. Sometimes it's not cooperative. Here we are, new moon, 9 degrees of Capricorn. Now, that new moon it's beautiful. It's wonderful. I love the new moon. Always a new opportunity for us to initiate something fresh and new, focusing on the zodiac sign that new moon is in. Of course, it's Capricorn. So it's about being logical and disciplined, practical, bringing things into life so we can feel stable and secure. You know, Capricorn is a yin sign. It's earth, yin, meaning it's feminine, it's receptive. So trust your instincts when you're sitting down to create your new moon intentions and that new moon focus that you have. Pay attention to that because the earth energy, while it's grounded, it is also very, very soft and very receptive to what's going on around us. Some of the tougher pieces of what a Capricorn energy represents is fear of the unknown, fear of missing out. That energy of fear can be strong with Capricorn if we are not paying attention to, am I in control? That's why I'm saying it's like, take some time, meditate, if you will, or just private journaling time. I go in depth on that in the other forecast, just the new moon forecast. But this is important to talk about. I want you to take some time, since we're at the end of the year, when we like to release things, as well as, approaching and looking at what's going on in your own life that is stirring up some fear, and what action steps can you take right now. Okay. And those are action steps. That's what I want you to look at. But first, we want to release what isn't working. So as I'm posting this on Friday, the 27th of December, in most places, and that means we're in the balsamic lunar phase on the 27th, 28th, 29th, and the new moon on the 30th is at just about 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. And so we have a period of releasing and contemplating and just working on identifying what isn't working in your life anymore. So when we get to Monday, December 30th, with this new moon in Capricorn, you are ready to bring that new energy to you so you can feel less fear, again, feel more practical, more disciplined, more stable. So we can just take those small steps. You don't have to solve the biggest problems in the world. But it just says it's time to start to focus, bring it back here and work in your community for the things that matter to you, because the big picture is just a big effing mess. And so let's bring it back to what difference can you make that matters to you? Okay. That's what I want us to look at. Let me go back to my share. I'm not sure where I'm at. Hold on. Here we are. All right. And now I wanted to talk about something else that I did not talk about in the full long new moon forecast. And I wanted to talk about where the moon is. And if you look at this little box down here, I'm sorry I can't make this any bigger. You can see on October 2nd, 2024, 3 months ago, we had a new moon solar eclipse at 10 degrees of Libra. And then 3 months from now, we are on March 29th, we are going to have a new moon solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Aries. Now, that means that it's called the bendings. We're having a new moon at the midpoint, at the bendings of two eclipses. This is what it looks like here. Okay. Oh, am I sharing the right screen? Let me double check. Just making sure I am. This is what it looks like with everything in here, but I did create a PDF file of just the aspects. So what I would like you to think about, this isn't complicated. I simply want you to, here's the middle one is the new moon that I'm talking about for December 30th. I simply want you to go back to October 2nd when we had the new moon. Here it is in Libra. And pay attention. What did you initiate and what were your goals then? All right. I know in a lot of my forecasts, I talk about lunar gestation cycles, etc. Very valid, a whole different system. This right here just shows us that every 3 months, we will have a new moon that is directly connected to two eclipses, one 3 months before and one 3 months after. And so this happens twice a year. It'll happen again when the new moon is over here in Cancer. That aside, I want you to take a look backwards, if you will, and remember what you were doing on October 2nd, because that new moon solar eclipse in Libra was quite active. And to make this easier for all of us to see, let's see if I can, oh, that's just crazy. Let's see how I can make this look different. Can I make this smaller? Oh, I don't know how. Here we are. No. Apologies. Let me hit pause. No, let me hit the recording pause. We stop the share. Sometimes I'm so not good at this stuff. 2 secs. I got it. All right, here we are. It'll show up in just 1 second. Okay, there it is. I cleared everything out for you, for all of us, so it would be easier to see, especially for those of us who aren't astrologers. And it's okay that if you're not an astrologer, because what I've asked you to do is just to look back to October 2nd, 2024, when we had the new moon solar eclipse. Here's what it looks like without anything else on the screen. The new moon solar eclipse in Libra, because then we were initiating and focusing on refreshing relationships, starting new relationships of any kind, and or our lives are all different. So we will do an and or, finding the balance in your life. All right. What did you initiate 3 months ago? That was October 2nd, because the new moon, that is just a plain new moon, but this new moon on December 30th is at a 90-degree angle to that new moon solar eclipse on October 2nd. So important. So when you dig deep into this new moon in Capricorn on December 30th, again, go read the blog. That has a lot of content. It's about 1,500 words. And then the other video of the new moon will give you even additional income. And then in March, so on March, and let's clear that out. Let's see if I can make this just a little smaller. There we are. And we want to just see the date. There it is. March 29th, 2025 is when we will then have the next new moon solar eclipse, and we will have that at 9 degrees of Aries, which also means today's new moon is squaring that. This is normal, but this is so the new moon today, or the new moon December 30th, makes a 90-degree angle to the solar eclipse October 2nd, 2024. What were you looking on? What were you working on in partnerships, relationships, finding harmony and balance in your life? We are trying to stabilize that and really integrate it into our lives now, Capricorn. And when we get to March 2025, when we get to that March eclipse, when was it again? Oh my gosh, my brain. Yes, March 29th. When we get to March 29th, with this eclipse right here in Aries, we're going to be focusing on what we absolutely need for ourselves. These are all cardinal signs, and that means that we have this opportunity to really dig in and initiate something. It's like 4 corners. It's right now it's 3, but the 4 corners of a foundation. Let's see when that new moon in Libra is. I'm going to look right now. I'm looking way ahead. The new moon in Libra looks like it's in October. Yeah, see, the new moon in Libra will not be connected to this one. So I want to look at the new moon in Cancer. That's what I want to look at. You guys are seeing me do this fresh live, and that's just how it goes, right? Let's take a look. Where is that doggone new moon, huh? There. We're getting there. We're getting there. I wasn't prepared for all this because I just wanted to play with you. The new moon in Cancer will be on June 25th, and it will be at 4 degrees of Cancer. So we'll have another new moon. It's just over here at 4 Cancer, which is still within, 5 degrees, 5, 6 degrees of all those other things. So June 26th, June 25th will be another halfway point between this eclipse and this eclipse. So it means a lot, honestly. It means a lot. Let me come back to a different share now. I'll stop that share and we'll come back to the charts. So that is really significant for all of us. It means a lot. So I want you to do the best you can to look at your journaling from October, really sit down and set in some nice goals and intentions right now so you can start to work on feeling safe, secure, and like you have a really strong foundation. And that, my friends, is what December 30th is about. So there's always a lot of content. Please don't forget to share this content with your friends and family members best you can. I know this will only be free for one more day, for one more week, for the rest of the week, and that is it after that. So what I want to do now is just to go ahead and grab the rest of these charts for us. And so we can definitely make sure I'm doing the right share. Indeed, I am. Okay. And yeah, get the word out. YouTube's not great at pushing my content out, even when it just comes to the new moon in the YouTube shorts. I don't know why. That's a pain in the ass, honestly. Y'all, they're saying be authentic. I'm always authentic. I just, you know what? I'm not always authentic because I actually swear more than I do on my videos in real life. I like dropping F-bombs all the time. I can't help it. It's just who I am. It adds dimension. Let's go. There are no exact planetary aspects on the 31st and of December and January 1st. Mainly the moon in Capricorn will remain in Capricorn throughout the 31st. Mercury, I don't have that up, but Mercury will trine Chiron. Here it is. And it does do that I don't have that chart up, December 31st, 2:41 in the morning, Eastern time. So when Mercury does make a trine to Chiron, which you can see right here, this is after the effect, but pay attention to what you're saying. Be really purposeful and intentional with your words so you don't create any additional wounds, okay? So I want you to pay attention to that. And then on December 1st, early in the January 1st, early in the morning, the moon enters Aquarius, makes a conjunction to Pluto and then to Mars and opposite Mars. And that is just a nice opportunity to initiate something fresh and new. That moon in Aquarius is always thinking about something else, something about independence and freedom. So when on January 1st, the moon makes its conjunction to Pluto in Aquarius, that's great for setting those those new year intentions as well as the new moon intentions. This is a good weekend for those of you who love to do vision boards. This first weekend in January is absolutely perfect for doing that. The astrology is on your side to create, to be innovative, to be creative, to produce a feeling and a sense of fresh newness and innovation and freedom even. All right. Now, January 2nd, we do have two aspects going on. We'll talk about them separately. The sun will make a quincunx aspect to Jupiter. That's a hard aspect because there's really nothing in common between Gemini. I'm a Gemini, love to chit chat, love to talk, love to be social, just like a butterfly, one flower to the next, just all over the place, gathering amazing amount of information and just being fun and happy and social. The quincunx with the sun, I have that in my chart too, but the other way with this quincunx creates a bit of stress because the Capricorn sun is everything I've just talked about with Capricorn. It's business, it's setting, it's focus, it's business, it's being stable and structured. And so there's just a back and forth between those things this week, or this day on Thursday the 2nd. It might be a day back to work for some people. So that could just feel like, oh, this is hard to get used to coming back and being with all my coworkers or whatever. It's a day of adjustment. Okay. Just do your best to keep an open mind, and those thoughts of independence and freedom with that moon in Aquarius is the way that we will handle this. All right, next is Venus enters the sign of Pisces also on that day. Let's see. Yeah, here she is at 29:59 Aquarius, 10:18 p.m. on January 2nd. And then at 10:24 p.m. on January 2nd, she shifts. That's just minutes apart, right? They're just a couple minutes apart. And there she is as she shifts into her exaltation. She is exalted in this sign. Venus in Pisces, way better than Venus in Aquarius. Venus in Aquarius can be overthinking, but just the feel of I need my space and freedom is so strong when Venus is in Aquarius. The second that she shifts into Pisces, it's like, oh, it's like you take off the mantle of overthinking things and then you just put on your comfy clothes. Because, I got my comfy sweater on, I got comfy pants on. It's like just, a big hug and just feeling comfortable in the things that you love and value. Venus in Pisces is also very romantic and soft. And I mean, we need a break. Our brains need a break from the stresses that have been going on forever. And, I know a lot of people that have I know less of those than I know people who have been overthinking things and feeling pretty stressed out. I know not too many people that are like, oh, it's been a great year. We heard one person say that online, and somebody I follow. But anyways, what's it like for you is a good question. So when Venus does enter the sign of Pisces, take about 3 weeks. She's moving along at a normal clip right now. Let's find out how long she'll stay in Pisces, because I don't have that. It's a certain amount of days, but it looks like it will be, yeah, it's about 31 days. So just a month. Yeah. So she starts in on January 4th, and then she enters Aries somewhere around February 5th. So yeah, a whole month in Pisces. Terrific. Flow, relax, dream, take care of yourself, be easy on yourself, be kind. That's what we can do with that. We can read a lot and get lost in books. We can sing, we can swim. I mean, it's all Pisces: music, sound healing, all of those things is what we want to do when Venus is in Pisces. So comfortable. She'll make some aspects as she moves through that sign, but we'll talk about them when it happens. All right, Mars retrograde opposite Pluto. Now, I already have that Mars retrograde video out there. It's been out since October. Can only link so many videos to this one on, especially on YouTube. You guys already on Patreon. I'll just put the link in. It's on your wall, but you'll have to scroll back to October when I put it up. I can't remember the exact date, but it was in October. I'll put the link in so you guys can get to it quicker. Because it's good to watch that because I have it's just in depth. It's a half hour-ish video about what Mars in retrograde and moving through Leo, Cancer back to Leo is all about, because that goes on for almost 7 months altogether in one area, 7, 8 months in one area. This day it is opposite Pluto. Now that's happened a couple times already, but this creates some intensity. Yeah. And let me see. I have some notes here. Let me read because I did have some. So the intense opposition, I'll just read my notes. Highlight the power dynamic. It's very transformative. The Mars and Leo can feel a bit fiery and feisty. And if you're walking around with some anger bubbling inside, uh, I mean, this can't be the only reason because you have something that you need to deal with, right? But this will excite that energy in a sense where it will activate it a bit more, especially if it's connecting 1 degree Leo anywhere in your own chart, the first couple of degrees of Leo. If you have planets at between 0 and 4, you're going to feel this. It's going to stir up some stress and some anger, especially if you're feeling like you're not being seen. And with it in that opposition to Pluto, this is an opportunity for transformation if you can. Hopefully you can. Gives you that period, that insight, that moving what you're passionate about or what you desire and evolving that. It'll come back again later when Mars goes direct, but we can see a lot of this. And I don't know exactly. I can't remember when it happened last time. I should have wrote it down, but I apologize. It's in the other video though. And so either way, this energy is strong and it is going to stir up a lot of stress in some people's lives, not everybody, because you're not feeling seen. Now, if you're a creative person and that is something that's important for you because Leo rules creativity and that expression of creativity, then you have an opportunity to basically, break like one of those barriers if you've been feeling, artistically or creatively stuck. Mars is out of bounds for a little while. Actually, I'm not sure how long it's out of bounds. Who wants to see? I do. That's not what I want. Let's go to that Mars. Here it is. I will get it. There we go. Let's see. Let's animate this and see how long Mars is out of bounds, because that's going to take a little while. Oh, yeah, it goes way out. Yeah. All the way until April. One more week? Yeah. All the way until April as it's out of bounds. When it's out of bounds, it feels really extreme. Here it is in Cancer. It's about finished. It's retrograding phase. Yeah, let me find it. It's in here somewhere. I have notes from both years. Yeah, it's done. It's done its shadow phase here. But the out of bounds was really important because that creates a lot of tension and stress. So let's come back to right now. Today's December 27th that I'm recording this. Let's see when it goes out of bounds. It goes on December 30th. Yeah, December 30th, it pops out of bounds. So it will be out of bounds from December 30th until that mid-April timeframe that we just showed you. Okay, let's go back to viewing the last image. Here we are. So that is all super important. A lot of tension can happen on this day. And the reason that is just because that Mars is opposite Pluto, as well as a few other aspects going on, but as well as Mars being out of bounds. Mercury, Sun, Pluto are all within the same declination, within 1 degree of declination. So that creates a lot of real intensity. I would use this day to sift and sort through what is working in my life and what isn't working in my life, because we have a few quincunxes we're going to come to right next. So this Mars opposite Pluto is at 2:21 a.m. Eastern time. Mercury quincunx Uranus, same day on Friday. We don't have any, yeah, sorry, never mind. On Friday, 2:19, we have Mercury quincunx Uranus. There it is. Crazy. Mercury quincunx Uranus. On the same day, Mars is opposite Pluto and Mars is out of bounds. This feels like a big day where there is a lot of, we have a lot of opportunities for evolution and change if we don't blow our top. Now, we also need to pay attention to what we're saying and internalizing, as well as the conversations we're having. That's the Mercury. Here we are in Sag. Mercury in Sag can say more than it really should. It's very hyperbolic. It can really overstate what's going on. That's Mercury in Sag. Quincunx Uranus, feeling challenged, feeling like we need to constantly make adjustments. These quincunxes, there are 4 of them in this chart. We'll talk about the moon one as well. There is a lot of stress and tension in this day, Friday, January 3rd. Feels incredibly difficult. So we need to be patient with ourselves. Words can be tricky. Feeling over feisty. There's just a lot going on in the world, and this can be internalized. Any one of us can really internalize this, and it can create a lot of personal problems. But this can be a great day. I'm always wanting to give you the upside of this too. While things can feel difficult and stressful with communication, I want to show you the next chart too, and that's at 6:41. Things can be very difficult between communication, information. Mars and Venus are in this quincunx as well. That stirs up a lot of stress between those feelings. All of these aspects, all of them. Let me go back to the one before. I like the picture of here better. All of these aspects, Mercury quincunx Uranus, the Sun, Jupiter quincunx, that only happened one day ago. Mars, Pluto opposition. And then there's this big yawn between the moon is activating this as well in the middle of the day on Friday, January 3rd. The moon conjunct Venus, part of the yawn with Mars, Venus, moon down to the south node. This is, I know there's a lot of astrology words. I hope you've stayed for this far. This creates a lot of stress and tension in relationships, communicating within relationships, getting what you want, and moving through it. And again, if you're an individual who's not having any troubles like that, then this can be a period where you can problem solve and break barriers that have been holding you back for a long time. You can have just these major aha moments that open up your eyes to something in your life. Only you know what's going on in your life. Can open up your eyes into something that is fresh and new and give you just like, that's the solution. For now, let me try that, right? Who isn't always problem solving something? I know my brain just doesn't ever stop. I'm always trying to figure out what's another way to reach you guys, reach more of you people, just to share this news and this knowledge. And you use this like a weather report. When you see that January 3rd could be a bit of a stressful day, then I want you to know that you can go into it as open-hearted and loving as you want. And I want us to do that. I want you to be the light in an area where there might not be a lot of it. Be the light. I get that. But even if you're just absolutely perfect and you're managing everything and it's just rolling off you, this is still an opportunity for you to do any of the internal work that you know you need to do for yourself. It's about you. And some people will just have the biggest mess that they've ever had to deal with in a long time. And you and me, I get to choose, you get to choose, we get to choose what we're allowing in and what we're accepting, how people judge us or don't judge us, or how we think they do, or how we're judging ourselves. It's just all of that's very psychological, very emotional for a lot of people. So take your time. When the moon's in Pisces, it's super sensitive. I want us to treat ourselves well. Give yourself a really nice Friday afternoon if you can, and treat yourself well. And that will complete it for now. No, we have one last one. The sun will sextile Saturn. What a nice way to anchor that. That's on Saturday, 5:30 p.m. No aspects on Sunday the 5th, just daily things. And I do really quick, short YouTube things for the daily videos. You don't get them way ahead like you get this. This is the weekly content. I go much, much deeper. As you can tell, the majority of people will not even get this far in the forecast. So with the sun sextile Saturn on Saturday evening, that can help us to like sort of reflect on the day. The sextiles are easy. That means they're the same polarity, meaning yin, Capricorn, earth, water, or yin. So the yin connection, moon, Saturn are conjunct. Yeah, so Saturday afternoon, we can start to feel a little bit more grounded. And then as we get into Sunday with the moon shifting into the sign of Aries in the middle of the afternoon, they'll just help you prep for the first normal week we've had, normal work week, if you will, that we've had since before Christmas. So that's what we have for that whole week. All right, I'm going to stop my share. I went super deep. A lot to talk about with those eclipses and this new moon on December 30th, too. That's so important. So I'm going to keep this open for sharing in hopes that you guys will continue to support me and find new people as well. I appreciate that because I love sharing. This is also my marketing and this is also my business. So I appreciate you guys and blessings. Thank you and Happy New Year. Namaste.